Okay, so today we've got an example using implicit differentiation. So the question says, use implicit differentiation to determine an expression for y prime of x in terms of x and y. And this is the equation that we have for that. So we want to find, what we're looking for is y prime of x equals something. Okay, so in this we're going to use differentiation. We're going to use the product rule and chain rule. Okay, so we start out and we go d over dx. So first we're just going to do, basically the reason we have to do this, maybe I should start with that. The reason we have to do this is because y is tangled up in this equation, so we can't just do like a standard differentiation. An easy one. So we write this out, 4xy equals d over dx of e to the x. Okay, so first things first, what we can do is pull, let's start with this part here. So we're just going to do that here, or maybe I'll split this up like that. So this is 1, 2, 3, and we'll go 1, 2, and this needs very little room, 3. So when we start with this 7xy squared, first we're differentiating with respect to x. We can pull the 7 out. So we have 7xy squared. And basically what the product rule is we're going to do the derivative of x times y squared plus x times the derivative of y squared. So it is the derivative of x. So this would be 7 times the derivative of x, which is 1, because xn minus 1n. In this case, n is 1, so that becomes 0. This becomes 1. We get 1. So 1 times y squared plus x times the derivative of y squared, which is going to be 2y. And then because y is dependent on x, or not independent from x, you have dy over dx, which can be written as y prime. Distribute that out, I guess. So we get 7y squared plus 14 xy y prime. Yeah, so that's for that part. The second part, we can go 4xy, pulling that 4 out, and we do the exact same thing we just did. So we do the derivative of x, which is 1. So I'm not even going to write it. I'm just going to write y plus x times the derivative of y, which is 1. So we end up, and we have to multiply that by y prime again. And then we distribute that out. So we have 4y plus 4xy prime. And then this other side of the equation, which is very simple here, the derivative of e to the x is e to the x. So we don't have to do anything there. So let's write that out. Okay, so we just need to write this out. So we've got 14 x, y, y prime plus 7y squared. So I'll make that look a little bit better. Plus 7y squared plus, so this was 1, 2, which is 4y plus 4xy squared. 4y plus 4xy prime equals e to the x, which was 3. So we just wrote that out. And now we want to get this into y prime of x equals something format. So it's actually pretty simple from here. We're just going to gather our like terms. So we've got 14xy y prime plus 4xy prime equals e to the x minus 7y squared minus 4y. So all I did was move this and this to the other side. Then we pull y prime out. 14xy plus 4x equals this stuff. 7y squared minus 4y. And then we simply divide. So we end up with y prime equals e to the x minus 7y squared minus 4y over 14xy plus 4x. And that is your answer. So that is going to be this is y prime of x in terms of x and y, right? It's because we have x and y. Oh, I made a mess. All right, so hopefully that video was helpful. Please do give it a like if it helped you out, and also consider subscribing to the channel. I want to do a bunch of different videos, more math, some physics, coding, basically anything engineering related. If you have anything that you'd like me to cover, please let me know down in the comments. Thank you so much for watching today, and until next time, take care.